Okay, so we've been doing that since the 90s, DEFTACT. It's an umbrella organization that takes care of all the martial arts that we do. We do jiu-jitsu, we do wrestling, we did Sarian. You remember Sarian before? We do MMA, we do FMA, KALYE TAKTIKO, and everything. So DEFTACT is the umbrella organization for all of that.
How many total students do you have right now with DEFTACT?
We have more than 1,000 already through the years. We're the largest team in Asia. We have a nationwide presence from Baguio all the way up to Davao.
Right. And how many affiliates do you have?
Well, we used to have 40 plus. We had 40 plus before, and then we shrank down to about 26 because of the pandemic. End of the year will be about 60.
60.
Yeah.
And like how many trainers do you have now and certified?
In every area, there's a certified trainer.
At least one.
Yeah, I make sure because we can't just put up one without certified.
How do you maintain that quality with DEFTACT having
it's
so
very
many
hard.
students?
It's very hard. For example, with any big organization, there's always going to be one or two people who think they know better, try to do better, and they'll try to do underhanded things. Like just like yesterday, we had black belt who's been with us for the longest time. Well, he does a lot of underhanded stuff behind my back. They're trying to plan, behind my back and everything. So just cut him off. Bye-bye.
Okay.
As you grow bigger and the horizon becomes wider and grander, there's always people who are going to try to bring you down, and do stupid shit because they couldn't do it themselves. Well, it is typical human nature. What do you call that? So when that happens, I'm a little older right now, and I don't like spending money in court cases, beating up people or whatever. So I just cut them off. Yeah. That's it. You don't want to be part of this what we're doing, then fine. It's okay.
You build DEFTACT based on good relationships with people, right?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes. Everything is purely relation. We have good bonds with everybody. We have good training and everything. It's surprising to see that majority, until way, only 1 or 2% turned out to be bad apples. But then 98% still with us and going strong after 20-something years. So
DEFTACT is in the passage of creating champions, of fighters.
Yeah, right? We have the largest kids team, largest women's team, largest adults, largest masters team, everything. We created the most champions. So, it's also very, very hard to maintain because there's a lot of people involved. But in the end, it all becomes worth it. We just did our General Assembly the other time. More than 300 people showed up. It was beautiful, seeing everybody from the whole country show up. And this wasn't even all of us. This was just like a little bit from the different gyms. So,
if you're talking to a co-parent right now, who wants to have their children enroll in DEFTACT, but they're scared because they don't know what's gonna happen to their kids and stuff. Are they gonna get injured or what? What do you actually tell them?
No, I tell them like this. I tell them to look at our kids class and look at what we've developed. We've had kids with mental problems, or psychological problems show up, behavioral problems in academics, just being generally shy. We've taken care of that, and we've created so many champions in the kids. Our kids team that we sent over to Russia did really well. All of our kids are champions, and it's actually different now. Before, I'd have to convince the parents, this is what it'll do for your kid. If you go to my gym now, we're always packed because we have good support from the parents, and the parents are the ones who are pushing the kids to become champions. It's different. I want my kid to be a champion. Can you help me? Sure, let's do it. And it's nice because we get to see the parents bond with the kids, and we get to bond with everybody. So it's a win-win for the parents. All of the kids I know from me that did really, really well had the support of their parents.
Right.
As in, you look at them, their parents just sit there and wait and watch their kids. Those are the kind of parents you want behind you. And I'm very, very happy that we've attracted those types. We also make sure that they grow up without egos. They understand the qualities of loyalty, hard work, perseverance, learning how to fail and learning to come back stronger. And those are the qualities that anybody needs in life. Sometimes, we have, people who grow old with us and became black belts and never apparently, they just hid their true self, so they couldn't wait till they're black belts so they could become like that, right? We will have bad eggs. That'll happen. That's just like an organization. But then that happens, bye-bye. Yeah. We still move forward and we still keep growing every year.
Nice. Basketball is really huge in the country. It's probably the biggest sport in the Philippines for sure. Do you think like jiu-jitsu can be in that type of level? Because basketball is a team sport. Jiu-jitsu is like, individual per se, but do you think it's something that can grow? Eventually, when it gets the proper exposure, jiu-jitsu is one of the only sports that everybody can train in. 100%. The mother, the father, the kids can all train together. They can all be on the mat. And we're very, very family-oriented in our country. They can all train on the mat. They can, work with equal effectiveness. When I went to Brazil, when I was 20 years old,
Whatever the 20-year-olds were doing, the 70-year-olds were doing.
Right.
Exactly that. It's like, wow, and it's a
Yeah.
normal thing there.
Yeah.
So we can have that happen here. Also, like, not everybody will be good in basketball to go to PBA,
Right.
or even play in high school. That's a different thing. In jiu-jitsu, anybody can get good at jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You don't have to be talented as long as you put in the work.
Yeah.
So that's what's beautiful about jiu-jitsu. So in DEFTACT, one of our sayings there is, it's a team to train with and a family to fight for. So when we say family, we treat everybody around us as family, so literally as family. We always take care of each other. We always support one another. What's nice is we have, so many family members enrolling at the same time. We have fathers and sons,
Nice.
daughters, everything, and it's awesome that way. Me, myself, our whole family trains. Myself, May, my sons, my 5-year-old daughter, we all
Yeah.
train together, and it's beautiful.
How does jiu-jitsu develop like a young kid's personality as a kid grows up?
Okay.
What does it do for a kid? Like say someone starts at like 5 years old, 7 years old. What does it do for them?
At first, we make sure it's half fun and half instruction. So the kid has to have fun first and foremost. You can't, just do this kind of thing, okay? So we make them have fun first. And then later on, we take out the game still by and we put in more and more instructions. Now, one of the main things Jiu-Jitsu teaches you is to be self-sufficient. In Brazil, there's an old school saying, the mats are where the little boy will cry and the mommy cannot hear. Okay, we don't make the kids cry or anything like that, but the kids don't complain. They get to learn to be self-sufficient. That if I did this mistake, no one's at fault,
Right.
just me. So how do I make sure I don't make this mistake again? I do this and I practice more. So these are the skills they pick up that later on in life, it's the same thing. I failed because, and now this is what I have to do.
Nice.
I cannot blame anybody else except myself.
Okay.
In the end, we're the only ones responsible for how high or how low we get.
All right, let's talk about KALYE TAKTIKO. What's so important about KALYE TAKTIKO that's so different from the other arts that you have?
Well, KALYE TAKTIKO is really how to defend yourself in a life or death situation. I've been fortunate to be able to train the U.S. Marines, the U.S. Navy SEALs, the Philippine Marines, a lot of the Scout Rangers here, elite military units. At first, I didn't want to teach it to civilians because it can be a life or death situation. But I think now more than ever, people need this. And of course, we choose who we teach this to. Why is it different from other Filipino martial arts? Well, a lot of other Filipino martial arts is, I have taken a lot of, I'm an instructor in so many, about 5 or 6. A lot of that is beautiful, it's effective, but you can't walk around with a stick all the time. You can't walk around with an itak all the time.
Right.
There's other things that to take into consideration. There's so many, and I've been through so much on the street that there's a certain culture on the street that people have to know before they start fighting. Like, for example, all of you guys should take arnis. It's not like someone's going to have an arnis here and arnis here, get ready, let's go fight.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. Okay? The stick fights I've seen is usually just go boom, 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 boom. It's just one guy hitting one guy, and then one guy trying to fight back with a stick, then everybody just rushes him, and then later on you see somebody squirting out blood. It's really that bad. It's not like, okay, ready, I mean, that's part of the training, but you have to be used to what really happens, and that's what I prepare people for. We're going to be releasing that online. We have a website. My website is alvinaguilar.com.
Okay.
We'll be releasing those lessons every week. A new lesson pops up. You can do it in the privacy of your own home, and then every time we will have interaction when you want to go further, and that's the best thing, because self-preservation is always the best. In the end, even if there's the police, there's the court of law and everything else, you are the only one responsible for defending yourself.
Right. Your lessons in KALYE TAKTIKO are like once a week, right? One lesson, one drill, they have to do repeatedly until it becomes like sort of a muscle memory.
Yes.
Right? That's what you're trying to develop when you're talking about real life situations, street fights, and actual.
If you read the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, like Bruce Lee's thing, is one of the reasons why people are not being able to defend themselves is number one is they're not training the system. Of course, the muscle memory and everything is there. If you're not training the system or any system, when someone attacks you, you're dead.
You don't know
You
what to
can't
do.
just, there's some people who are natural fighters, but what happens if you're not one of those people?
Right.
Then you have to struggle now, especially if you're surprised. I've been surprised a lot in when I was younger, and I've been ambushed and everything. If you don't have a strong mind, you get ambushed. That's it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when they get hit, boom, they start doing this. No, in a street fight, in a real fight, you get hit here, your other eye better be open because you got to see the next one happening.
God.
See, so
That's real life. How different is it, like when you see the ones in the movies that's being done, like with the knife fight, between a real one?
The ones in the movie, of course, you know, they have to show the knife and everything. If
Right.
you're a real knife fighter, you're gonna make sure that they never see your knife. It'll be whoop, and that's it. You know, they hide
Right.
the knife right away.
Right beside you and then gone.
And that's it. It's gone.
You always showed in your videos that it's always to be stealth,
Yes.
right? Because you don't want to show your
Yeah,
your
that's the
knife
worst thing.
in
It's like,
public.
hi, I'm a knife fighter, look. And then you
Right.
have all the witnesses and everything, you
Right.
know. Of course, you have to worry about the witnesses later on, even if you're defending yourself. Because let's say somebody was supposed to kill you and everything like that, and then you were able to bring out a knife and you use it against the person, even if it was legal and everything. But if the other guy doesn't know what the story is and he testifies against you, I saw him stabbing him, and then you know, you have no bail, you have to wait for the court case to finish. By that time, you're already an old man after 10, 15 years, you know. It's crazy. So you have to be able to understand the law, also understand your environment and everything. And that's what we do also in KALYE TAKTIKO.
Okay. Is it also applicable in KALYE TAKTIKO wherein when you say your best offense is a good defense?
Yes, well, what we do is we make sure that the best defense is awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
Okay? A lot of people say, you know what, I always go home at night and I'm always alone and I'm hoping that nobody, why do you go home alone then? You find a way to, you know, and then find a better route or, you know, find another way out of there. You know you don't know how to fight, so why would you be, you know, risking yourself, diba? Another thing people have to understand is, you know, if someone's just getting money, just give it. You know, that's replaceable, but your life is irreplaceable.
Right.
I'll give you a story real quick. We had a student, he was held up around near La Salle with a knife. Okay, fought back, beat up the guy. It's okay, no problem. Second time, they came back at him again. Same people, held him up again. Guess what happened? He beat them up again. Okay, we're all good. Third time, they found him again. So, okay, he's like, okay, business as usual. Shot him in the face, and that was it.
Gone.
All he had to do was give his cell phone. You know, they came from a very good family and a very good, you know, he was a very good guy also. And it was just too bad it happened. But, you know, just like I was saying to everybody, even him, I told him, you know, if they want to get your cell phone, just give it. Unless you have your porn there or something, right? Or delete my delete my
can you
delete my search history. No, but yeah, if it's
Not
something
everyone should try to be like Steven Seagal.
oh no, not even Steven Seagal can defend himself. Trust
Right.
me. You know, if there's a real guy, okay, if there's a guy who's really intent on stabbing you,
Right.
he will cut you. He will cut you. There's no way.
Cut you at least.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm an instructor in how many martial arts, Filipino martial arts and everything. Look at how many scars I have being stabbed and everything. So, and I've survived, yeah, but you know, I still get cut. Look, see this? My finger almost got cut off. I'm here. I had 25
there.
stitches here. You know, I had so many. So
Because you use that to defend yourself, right?
yeah, this guy was left-handed when he got inside. I
Like,
didn't
because
even
when you're
feel
gonna
it.
get cut, you're really gonna get cut. So you give spots where you could get cut and still live.
I was expecting it from the right, but he was stabbing from the left. It's like, oh wow, what the hell? So it was that kind of thing. But yeah, and then this thing was really open like this. And then
In your arms, which ones do you use best to defend yourself?
real
if,
quick.
If
Okay,
you don't have a knife.
Oh yeah, okay. So, okay, I'll give you a quick lesson. So if you're going to defend yourself against a knife, there are parts of our body that can be cut. Okay, that's what you sacrifice. Okay, so number one is this. Okay, because it's all bone. Okay, it'll open up, yeah, but you won't die. Of course, you cannot block like this because if this gets hit, then you're dead. If this gets hit, you won't be able to move your fingers, right? So it's this. Because if you do this, look, if you do this, you'll be able to move your fingers
Right.
because this is connected to your fingers, right? So this is what you block with, everything here. Okay, next. When you block, okay, you cannot block this way because if I get the thumb, then you won't be able to grab anything anymore, right? So you're allowed to get these two cut off. And keep these three. Okay? That's how you sacrifice it. You know, if you're going to sacrifice something, that's it. So, yeah. And that's what almost happened to me, see? This thing almost came off, actually. So if you looked at, if you see that scar
Right,
there,
yeah.
yeah. So this my finger was hanging after a while. So we met a lot of colorful people during our youth.
You live to tell the story.
Yeah.